Hey folks, it's your favorite sorcerer. As you can see, good morning. I just started my day. And, for some reason, I saw a video of mine that I did 5 years ago on my YouTube. I went through my phone, YouTube app, and boom. There was a video of myself from 5 years ago in which I said, or the title of the video was, How to Make a Demon Weep. It's also linked in the description under this video. And what I was saying in there is still valid. But I can see that I couldn't 100% communicate what I wanted to say, or rather, what I said there was completely valid, but today I would communicate it a little bit different. The message is still the same. So I was inspired to do a new version of that video and communicate it a little bit differently. Because obviously in 5 years as a practicing magician, you learn things and you grow. So this is the current version, and who knows if what I'm going to say in 5 years. I'm sure it's going to be based on the same truth, but I'm probably going to, I don't know, who knows. So let's begin. So the title of this video is going to be How to Make the Spirits Bow to You. How to make the spirits bow to you. Truth is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. Truth is power in itself. What is truth? Truth is defined as a fact in the physical universe. It's defined by matter, energy, space, and time. So if I state a truth about something, it has to contain those factors. Matter, who was involved? Energy, what was the sequence of events? Because energy is just a flow of particles. Space, where did it take place? And time, when did it take place? And when you know those things about something, boom, you have a truth. Truth, it dissolves confusion and it dissolves untruth. Untruth is, imagine the following thing. A guy has really bad breath. And whenever he tries to talk to girls, they are distant. They don't want to talk too long. They just try to get away from him, right? But he's not aware of the fact that he has bad breath. So his conclusion, he has an observation. Oh, they don't want to talk to me. That's his observation. And then he makes a jump to the conclusion that women are only interested in money. I don't have any money. That's why they're not interested in me. But he's not aware of the fact of his bad breath. Okay? So he makes a jump to the conclusion. What we have to learn to do in life is to discern between opinions, lies, straight up lies, which is an untruth with intention, and truth. Okay? So imagine a calculator or a formula where it's fact plus fact plus fact plus fact equals fact. If you have this, in this chain of facts, if you have one untruth, meaning an opinion or a conclusion or something like that, you will get fucked up results. Okay? Now, obviously, you can imagine that, politics, societal discussions in general, and discussions with most people are a nightmare because they're not sharing facts. They don't even know how to define a fact. A fact is a truth. What they're doing is they're sharing opinions and conclusions on a constant basis. And when you have a war of opinions, that creates tension, you see. Imagine it like these energy vectors that are misaligned. If energy vectors are aligned, everything flows. And a fact, a truth, is an energy field with vectors that are aligned. Okay. Any kind of opinion, untruth, and all that stuff has incomplete information in there. It has incorrect information in there. It has conclusions, jumping to conclusions in there. So just things are just inserted. And that creates an energy field that is kind of messed up, you see. And when untruth gets in contact with truth, untruth dissolves. It is dissolved. How do you experience that? You experience that in a lot of my videos, for example. When I speak of the occult, I base it on truth and experience. So when I say that, something within you dissolves. Okay? There's something called indicators, or let's say an emotional scale. All right. And when you hear a truth about a subject, your emotions get better, or your indicators. You're like, okay, something dissolves. Something becomes clear all of a sudden. Okay. This is how you recognize truth. Truth can be felt in the body, it can be felt in the mind, primarily by improving your sense of reality. You feel better, your indicators get better, you have a realization, and you feel less tension in your head. You know, it's kind of like this tension that was in your mind, and truth, boom, gives you more space, you know. So what I'm doing is, in my videos primarily, when it comes to magic, I'm speaking truth into your mind, and boom, things become easy and things dissolve, you see? So how do you make spirits bow to you? You know, truth is a universal force. Please understand that. Truth is something that dissolves everything that is not true. Let me give you an example. So, laws. Okay, let's talk about laws. You better build your life on laws that are made by the universe. Okay? Universal laws, or rather, man-made laws, are something that you shouldn't break. Universal laws is something that you can't break. Does that make sense? So when we're looking at the universe, there are certain universal laws. And when you build your life based on those laws, you cannot be stopped. Do you understand that? Now, obviously, I'm not advocating for breaking the law of the land or any of that. Okay, don't get me wrong. You should follow the laws of the land of whatever region you're in, right? But you should build your life on the laws of the universe, understanding that there are cycles, the 7 alchemical laws, and be intelligent enough to apply them, of course. But you will, as you study them, you will be able to apply them everywhere, you know. And there are some other principles, but that would be going too far. Maybe I'm going to cover them in some other videos. But the point is, you know, the mind and the physical universe and the spiritual universe, they're more or less like, they're built on the same building blocks, you know. The fundamental building blocks of the physical world, the mind, and the spiritual universes are the same. Truth is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. Truth is also in some way or another connected to love, all right? Believe it or not. So, the more truth you carry within yourself, the more powerful you will be, and the more you will be able to move through the world, and things will dissolve for you, okay? If you have a person that carries a lot of truth in their mind, in their aura, in their energy, confronting a person that has a lot of untruth, the person with a lot of untruth will break in front of that person, because they built their entire being on a foundation of sand, okay? Observe that. If you're a truthful person, and one of the most important things of becoming a magician is you have to build yourself on truth. You have to build your life and your understanding of the world based on those universal laws. One of the things that will happen is people will break in front of you constantly. They can't confront you, and when they confront you, even the toughest guys, like the tough guys, they break in front of you. They can't face you. They can't confront you because it's not you. Okay, well, you can't see that on video, but in person, I'm quite impressive. 6'4", 220 pounds. I'm in good shape. I'm a fighter. I can fight. I promise you. And but that's not the reason why. Because there are people or guys that are bigger than me, there are guys that are way buffer than me, there are guys, but people break in front of me. They do that. They can't stay there for long. They depending on the level of truth that they carry. Some people are attracted to that. Other people are afraid because they can feel their untruth dissolving. See, everybody is trying to survive in this world. And sometimes people choose untruths that feel good So they have a false sense of security. It's a sense of security, but it's a false sense of security, not built on truth. And when you encounter someone that has a lot of truth, automatically that stuff will begin to dissolve. And the whole foundation that you built your fucking life on begins to dissolve as well. This is also why certain people will not like you, but that's not a problem, because who cares? They're not a threat. They can't do anything to you. And as they go against you, it's like going against the universe. Because if you're aligned with if you're aligned with your purpose and you build your life on truth, going against you is like going against the universe. So good luck. They're not gonna do any. They're not gonna be able to harm you or destroy you. It's not gonna work because you are literally aligned with the universe, its laws, and this flow of energy that comes through you. So this is what I'm primarily doing. I don't know if you decode that, but that's primarily what I'm doing when I'm putting out videos. I am dissolving untruth in your mind and I'm replacing it with truth by sending truth into your mind. And these realizations that you have, and the feeling of being uplifted, that is truth that has chipped away a little bit of that untruth in your mind. So what does that have to do with spirits? How do you make spirits bow to you? Just like people break and have to respect truth and something that is built on the universal laws, a pyramid that is built on the universal laws. Something that would have been respected in ancient Egypt, Atlantis, ancient Greece, the temples of Rome, all. If I were to talk to an ancient Egyptian priest, they would have to respect me. Do you understand that? They would have to respect me, and I would have to respect that guy as well. Because we are both an embodiment of truth, thousands of years apart. But hey, quick side note, I actually was a priest in ancient Egypt, but let's not digress. I was a lot of things, believe it or not. But you believe that this is really the first lifetime that you experience? You really believe this is your first life? Like, come on. All right. Back to the topic. So, untruth dissolves. They have to respect you. They break. Spirits must respect you too. And that's how they bow to you. So, in the video 5 years ago, I talked about making a demon weep. Yeah, as a metaphor or an interesting way of saying that you can coerce a spirit, you can force it, you can actually punish a demon. Yes, if a demon doesn't follow your command as a magician, and this is not the not the first thing that you go to, obviously, but if you have to coerce it, you can punish it. Yes, and you can make it weep. That's actually what you might hear as you're coercing that, because it's pain. The authority and power to do that comes first and foremost from your alignment with power and truth, the universal principles, which is also tied in with your daemon, something that I talked about in a video that I posted yesterday. But you get the idea. It is truth. Build your life on truth. This truth will become part of this invisible infrastructure. Seek out truth wherever you can and build your life on that. Build your life on the universal principles, which also entails that you should not take your ego too serious. Hey, let me take a step back and please explain what I mean with that. So when I say don't take your ego too serious, I'm not saying become a hippie or some fake Buddhist, like, oh, I have attained enlightenment. I have no ego and I did that faster than you. You see the hypocrisy in that statement? No, you should have convictions. You should have not in a legal sense. You should be determined about something. You should have values, principles. That's your ego, essentially. Values, principles, ethics. That's an ego, in my opinion. Things that you know what you want. You know what you're here for. You go for it unapologetically, and you have an ethical code that you don't break for anything. That's an ego. All right, but everything around that, in terms of opinions about this subject or this and that and the other, that should be subject to change, of course, because if better information is available, you should change it at the drop of a hat, because your goal is not to be right. Your goal is to embody truth, and being right is a byproduct of that. Most people, they want to be right. They don't want to be truth. They're not looking for the truth. They want to be right. So they begin, Jordan Peterson or something like that. That's a good opinion. Good example. I don't know why that guy came to my mind. But people that have a lot of untruth, how do you know they have a lot of untruth? People, listen, untruth is connected to all kinds of problems. Mental issues are the result of untruth in the person's mind. The state of mind is a reflection of the level of truth in there. So if a person is fucked up mentally, it means they carry a lot of untruth. But in this stupid ass society, people listen to these people because they sound smart, because they fucking chew on dictionaries all fucking day and look pretentious and have like degrees and all that stuff. I have a degree too, okay? I have degrees. But that doesn't mean anything. Because in the official school system or system of education, you get completely uneducated, if that makes sense. You're being miseducated, essentially. All right. So this video is actually a better one than what you would learn at a university. Okay. So where was I? So a person carries a lot of untruth. That when you carry a lot of truth and you build your mind based on truth, you will dissolve things quickly around you. All right. And the ego is basically that. But the ego doesn't change, essentially. The expression of the ego could change, in terms of, okay, I've changed my opinion on the subject because now I have better information. It has nothing to do with being attached to any of that stuff. Right now, I'm stating the truth that I know. And I know that because I know that based on the facts that are in there, based on experience, I've tested it, and I've used experiments in the universe to verify this opinion, which is actually based on truth. So it becomes a truth. This is how you should see your life. This is how you should go through the universe. And this should be the thought process that you have when it comes to studying any subject and looking at the world. And the more truth you build up, the more powerful you become. The more aligned with the universe you become. And this will make spirits respect you. And you will be able to command them. This is what makes people respect you, period. The toughest criminals, because criminals carry a lot of untruth. The toughest gangsters, all those guys with like their faces tatted up, and they look so tough and cool and whatever, right? And mean mugging. All these people will break in front of you. Because if you carry truth and you stay in truth, they destabilize. And poof, you walk through the world and you become this icebreaker. And people either align themselves with you if they have value and they become your allies, and you exchange value and you become stronger together, or they try to go against you. I guess there is also a neutral faction. That's fine. Let them do whatever they want. And then there are your enemies. Okay, well, these enemies, first of all, they must come from untruth. And secondly, they must lose. Because going against you will be like going against the universe. They can't win. They can't win. Good luck to them. So, Friday morning, I'm going to have to go through, I will go through my routine. I will do what I have to do. And today I'm going to make sure to do a sex magic ritual with a super hot Colombian chick, man. Oh my God. Supermodel. Listen, I mean, I'm sure you can imagine I'm still in Paris. I'm sure you can imagine that the city is full with little wannabe models, right? But there are just certain regions of the world with an extremely high density of beautiful women, okay? And I think South America is like, it's insane. The density and the frequency. I know a lot of people say that about Sweden or any of that. That and it's to an extent it's a question of taste. Yeah, I get it. But I just think South America is just crazy how beautiful, like how many beautiful women come from South America. Insane. But that's just my opinion, my 2 cents. And I'm going to do a sex magic ritual. I'm going to make sure to do a sex magic ritual with that chick. And with that being said, hopefully you got something out of this video. And primarily I was doing this video for myself just to, I don't know, maybe watch it watch it in another 5 years and see the progression. And there are still some spots available for the infinite initiation system. What that is, if you haven't seen the previous videos, it's also linked in the description. Okay, so just watch that. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.